Yo, what's going on guys? How you doing? Arekkz here and welcome to Ghost Recon Wildlands. So last week I went to an event in Paris. Ubisoft very kindly invited me out to go hands-on with a portion of the game. Now prior to this, the last time I played Ghost Recon Wildlands was last year at E3, and that was a very early build of the game. And truth be told, while what I played there was fun, because it was a very early version, it was of course lacking a lot of the kind of open world stuff. Some of the stuff you do outside, we were basically playing through a very sort of guided demo. I didn't really get a good sense for what the rest of the game was. So of course, leaving that, I wasn't completely sold. However, having now gone hands-on with effectively the full game, with a much more kind of vibrant, living, breathing world, with missions, side missions, a lot of other stuff to do, of course plenty of weapons, skills, customization, basically the whole Ghost Recon package. Having now played that, I am super looking forward to this game. There is a lot of cool stuff to do. It is a huge, huge open world, and for someone like me that likes playing games with friends in co-op, it is going to be an absolute laugh. So, in this video, I'm going to bring you guys some gameplay. In the background, you're going to see a mix of single player and co-op, and of course, I'm also at the same time going to give you guys my impressions because I got to play for a good, say, 5 hours, so during that time, I experienced both sides of the sort of player experience, as mentioned, solo and co-op. I tested out a lot of different missions. I did some kind of core story missions. I did some side quest stuff. I did some kind of random exploration. We got to check out 2 of the different regions. So I'd say in my 5-hour kind of slice, I got a good kind of look at the game. So, if you do enjoy this, like would be super appreciated. Comment down below, let me know if you guys are looking forward to this game. But first things first, let's get the information out of the way. So, March 7th is the launch date, and it's coming to PS4, Xbox One, and PC. The world itself in the game is said to be Ubisoft's largest action-adventure open world they've ever made. And I can definitely see that because we played in 2 regions, and each of these regions is a massive, massive map. But there are 21 of these different regions, so 21 of these huge, huge maps. And these regions, of course, span 11 different ecosystems, so things like desert, jungle, like snowy areas, mountain areas, things like that. And throughout these regions, there are 26 bosses. So there's definitely a lot of stuff to do. There's also a lot of replay value in kind of the way that you play the game. But most importantly, for any of you guys out there that enjoy open world and just enjoy kind of exploring and doing your own thing, kind of making your own sort of sandbox fun, there is plenty for you to do in Wildlands. So first up, talking a little bit about the single player experience, you can play the whole game in kind of whatever configuration you want, whether that be solo, 2-player, 3-player, 4-player, but if you're playing on your own, then of course the teammates are filled with AI. You then have a command wheel where you can basically tell them what to do, so you can kind of synchronize shots if you want to sort of do those stealth takedowns. You can kind of call them to your location, tell them to hold in different locations, so it's really easy to control them, and they actually do work out really well. They're not going to be one of those kind of pesky AI teammates that just kind of get you killed or mess up. They are actually very useful, so if you guys are solo players out there, you don't necessarily like playing co-op, or you just want to have the experience on your own, then rest assured it is fun to play solo. But me personally, I'm all about kind of that co-op experience. I love kind of just like messing around with my friends, having fun, and this is definitely a game for that. We played 2 main missions and a few side missions and just did some kind of random stuff as a group. There were a lot of funny moments, a lot of kind of like messed up situations where people fired too early, we were trying to be stealthy, things went wrong, cars got blown up, targets got killed, missions were failed, loads of stuff like that, but every single time it was just really, really good fun to play. So when you're playing in the map, if you open up the map, you have, of course, your kind of main missions are marked by these sort of yellow icons. Sometimes they're already there, other times you need to go off and kind of gather intel. The intel gathering stuff is pretty basic. That tends to be you sort of go to a location, you kill a few targets, you photograph something, but bear in mind, intel gathering is just purely a means to an end. You do that, and that, of course, leads you to the story mission, and those, of course, tend to be a lot more involved. They follow the different bosses, because, of course, the kind of setting for the game is, I believe, the cartel are sort of, you know, controlling this area, and the Ghost Recon team coming in to try and sort of, you know, take it back, take out all the leaders, something like that. I'm not going to kind of focus on the story too much because spoilers and whatnot, and also for a game like this, personally, I'm much more focused on the gameplay. And speaking of which, gameplay, combat in this game is super solid. So you have a lot of different weapons to choose from. The signature Ghost Recon weapon customization shop is back, the one where kind of weapon explodes. In fact, there's a lot of customization in this game, both on your weapons and on your character. Maybe not necessarily too much on the faces, and I do actually have a dedicated video on character customization and weapon customization, so if you do want to see that, I will link it down below. But there is a lot of stuff to do, a lot of stuff to unlock as well. Some of these customization options you'll unlock as you play through the game. Same thing goes for the weapons. But for those of you guys that kind of want to tweak your experience, really sort of, you know, like tailor your weapons to your encounters, your skills as well, there are loads of different skills you can unlock, and these sort of go down different paths. And when we were playing as a co-op, we decided to try and sort of spec our team accordingly. So, you know, I went in as the sniper with the drone. So I had like a high spec drone that had a lot more range than everyone else's. The ability to kind of like, you know, scan, use night vision, things like that. I also had the sniper. So I kind of went for skills that benefited that style of play. Meanwhile, other people went down the sort of assault route so they could, you know, run in, get up in the enemy's face, and have skills to benefit them. So throughout the game, you'll be customizing, unlocking skills, doing all that stuff, so there is plenty of stuff to kind of keep you busy, plenty of stuff to sort of aim for. But I'd say for the completionists out there, if you want to do sort of everything there is to do on the map, then there's going to be a lot of stuff to keep you busy. Another really cool thing about this as well is that the way they've designed the game is there is total kind of freedom of choice. So you're not going to be shoehorned or funneled through a mandatory narrative path. While of course you do have story missions you need to do, you don't necessarily need to do them in that specific order. You can basically go around the world and pick and choose these as you please, you know, kind of tailor your own experience and then just sort of play the game however you see fit. Which is of course a really nice thing, because whenever you have an open world, the last thing you want to be doing is basically being funneled down a kind of linear path and then missing everything else that's around you. One of the things I didn't get a chance to look at while I was there, but I am super looking forward to checking out, there is a kind of dynamic weather system, and this is going to sort of like heavily affect the way you play. I got a kind of slight snippet at it because there was one time when sort of a sandstorm came in, and this heavily affects visibility, and this is of course really, really useful in, you know, tactical combat, stealth combat, because it means that enemy sight lines are much shorter, so of course that affords you a lot more options when it comes to sneaking around and sneaking into the base. Speaking of sneaking, there are some other really cool stealth things as well. Simple things like if it's nighttime and you happen to get into, say, an enemy vehicle and drive into the base, because it's dark, the enemies will just let you into the base because they're like, you know, they can't see, they see the car, they recognize it, they let you in. So there are loads of sort of cool, clever stealth things you can do, or, you know, you could just take a helicopter, parachute into the base, and cause as much mayhem as possible. So, safe to say, I really enjoyed my time playing. And as mentioned, going from the E3 build, which I played and enjoyed, but just wasn't really sure exactly what the game was offering then, to now, I'm playing, you know, a fully fledged game with a living, breathing world, with loads of stuff to do, loads of kind of places to explore, loads of stuff to unlock, customize. I'm definitely super looking forward to this. This is for sure a game that I will play on stream. It's for sure a game that I will play with a full team. If you guys have got friends that kind of enjoy these sort of games, I would definitely say you'll have an incredible experience if you do play it co-op. But again, if you guys are Ghost Recon fans and you like playing solo, then rest assured you'll still have a really good experience. So that is pretty much it. That was a bit of gameplay. Those were some of my impressions based on kind of the hands-on section. Of course, do bear in mind, I only got to test out a small snippet of the world. This is a huge game. There's so much there that I've still yet to discover, yet to try out, yet to kind of experiment with. But from my time playing, then that's that. So if you guys did enjoy the video, again, like would be super appreciated. Comments down below. And also, if you guys want to see the customization stuff, as mentioned, you can find that also linked down below. Thank you very much for watching. Take it easy. Catch you next time. Peace out.